A pacemaker is a small device implanted just under the skin that controls abnormal heartbeat. One major challenge for device manufacturers is the pacemaker battery, which, for obvious reasons, must be safe, reliable, and long-lasting. The Sarver Heart Center's Dr. Marvin Slepian is here to tell us about a new battery technology powered by the heart itself. Marvin, thanks so much for joining us today.
Pleasure to be here.
Marvin, you've brought some examples of pacemakers and other heart devices. Could you briefly describe how they work and how they're powered, please?
Sure. Pacemakers are small devices, little electronic, computer-like devices. They're inserted into the chest. They have a lead which is used to send a signal out for arrhythmias or for blocks to give a very regular heartbeat, but they require a battery. And there are other similar devices like a defibrillator which sends a shock, or a device that can maintain or monitor rhythms. All these require batteries. The limitation with this type of technology is that, unfortunately, when the battery starts to run out, you physically have to remove these devices, which requires surgery and a reoperation. What we've been working on is the concept that we potentially could develop a system which would use the motion of the heart itself to convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. I should say, first off, that this is a joint project with Dr. John Rogers and Canon de Givron from the University of Illinois. We have a strong collaboration between the two schools. So the idea that we have is that we've developed a system using what's called piezoelectrics or piezoelectronics. Piezoelectric materials are little crystalline materials which, when you strike them, they convert mechanical energy or force by virtue of stress and strain into an electrical current. And that can generate power, which actually could be captured and could be utilized to either charge the battery of a pacemaker or beyond to actually completely replace the battery. We recently published a paper, it was in Proceedings of the National Academy of Science, where we implanted this type of system directly on the heart. We also put it on the lung, and with the natural beating of the heart or with the excursion of breathing, we were able to convert by the impact from this system into an electric current, which actually was then fed back to a battery and showed that we could both charge and power the pacemaker.
So the heart's actual movement is what's powering the pacemaker then, Marvin?
That's correct.
Okay. And in terms of this device, would you need a backup for this, or is this something that you would use by itself without a battery?
Well, like any new technology, we always try to build in some redundancies. So I would imagine, of course, we have to go through trials, and there's the FDA. What we envision to begin with is that this would be utilized as a backup. But we believe that as systems become more robust and as the energy demand of these devices goes down, this could become a primary system with a very small battery inside as the backup rather than this as the backup. Okay. So that's the future.
And looking at your team's technology, what are some other applications that this could be aimed at?
So our whole concept with this technology is that there's a big shift going on in medicine. I think we're all aware that there's a change in medicine where we're wearing sensors, we're putting devices on, people are wearing activity bands, and more we're using technology that will be on the patient to monitor their status, hopefully to reduce the need for hospitalization, to reduce the need to come to the emergency room. We'll have all these sensing, diagnostic, and therapeutic systems. They're active. They all require power. So our goal has been to be able to develop these kind of polymer systems that could be utilized to power these types of devices. I think we recognize that the medical device of the future may very well be your cell phone, where you'll be wearing some small applique that will telemeter to this, which then gets telemetered to the physician or the hospital, but this requires power. So with these piezoelectric type technologies, we could develop systems that could be on the whole patient. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the inside. We developed this first strategy using the motion of the heart, but you can imagine that we could develop a suit of clothing or other type of bands that are put on as you exercise, as you walk. This could be put on your shoes. With the impact of walking, the striking of your heel could generate the mechanical activation that then gets converted to electricity. So we envision the body electric, where effectively these will be safe, you will not be shocked, but these will be safe systems that we can capture energy and utilize it in a more efficient manner.
Well, Marvin, I want to thank you very much for joining us here today.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.